Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Hey, listen, I appreciate you all tuning in. Hey, we're getting closer and closer and closer to the Super Bowl. It's pretty exciting, especially around town where I'm at. It is pretty exciting. I tell you. I'm not going to talk about the NFL, but I'm going to touch on a little football. Listen, yesterday was a great day for some of the country's best football stars in high school. National Signing Day. I just want to give a shout out to all those who are getting one step closer to performing their dream, living their dream, or reaching their goals. For some of these young students coming out of high school, we don't know their background. We don't know their story. They could be the first ones ever to receive a scholarship, maybe the first one ever in their family to go to college. This is a tremendous honor, and see these young men having fun with it, making their selection in front of their family, their friends, on national TV. It's just exciting, and I just want to give a round of applause for all these young men. I mean, in some areas in this country, young black men don't have this opportunity, and it's not just black men; it's all young boys and young men. They don't all have this opportunity, and to have this opportunity to not only to pursue their dream, but to get an education. An opportunity for education, it just deserves a round of applause. And I just want to commend them, and I wish them all well on their future endeavors. And I hope they chose the college that best suits them, and that they're able to move on and pursue their career. They went from playing on Fridays to now playing on Saturdays, and hopefully they'll get the chance to play on Sundays. And so I just want to give them a tremendous honor. Moving right along to the NBA, I want to talk about a young man that he's becoming one of my favorite players. And you heard me say it on this show, pound for pound, there's not a better player in the NBA. Right now, he's second in scoring at 29.7 a game. He leads all scorers in fourth quarters with a little over 11 points a game. He's led his team to second in the Eastern Conference with the win over Toronto last night. They've surpassed Toronto, in fact. I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas. This guy here is about 5'9", at least listed. I'm not sure if he's quite that. He's fearless. He's confident. He was Mr. Irrelevant in the NBA draft a couple of years back. I believe he was selected the last pick in the second round by Sacramento. And here's the thing about him. He's averaging 29.7 this year. But for his 6-year career, he's averaging 18.9. In his third year with Sacramento, he averaged 20 points a game. Why they let him go, I don't know, don't understand it, and I won't be able to figure it out. But Isaiah Thomas, in my estimation, you can make the case right now that he's the league's MVP. No, he's not my choice. I still think it's Westbrook. And Harden is probably a close second. But you're not talking about MVP unless you're talking about Isaiah Thomas. I believe Isaiah Thomas is over anybody of the big three in Cleveland and anybody over the big three in Golden State. I believe those two teams, if you take off one of those stars, they're still a playoff team. You take off Isaiah Thomas, and this is a lottery team. And here's the thing. It's not like he's shutting down point guards or anything like that. He's playing just as well of defense than any other point guard is. But I tell you what, you're not shutting him down. He's not playing 40 minutes a game. I like what Brad Stevens is doing there. He trusts his bench. Everybody gets to play. Come fourth quarter, this guy's well rested. He may play 9 minutes of the fourth quarter. Sometimes he only plays 6 minutes. But when he comes into the game in the fourth quarter, this guy is fresh. he's ready to go, and he gets it on. As I said, they're only trailing Cleveland in the East by 2.5 games. Isaiah Thomas is becoming that guy in the NBA right now. If you don't know who he is, get to know who he is. If you haven't seen him play, watch a game or two. Isaiah Thomas right now, in my opinion, is third on the MVP race list. Yes, he's ahead of Kevin Durant, Curry. Yes, he's ahead of LeBron. And you don't hear anything from him. You don't hear a peep out of him. This guy just goes out and plays. I don't think they have enough to win a championship. Quite honestly, I would position myself, get on the phone with Utah, and see if they can pry away Hayward. I think they're missing that type of player, a wing player. I don't think Carmelo is the answer, and here's the reason why. I would say Carmelo would be a good fit there if you can make the trade in the off season. But Carmelo, you have to give $27 million in salary to get Carmelo. That will require 3 to 4 players from Boston to go back to New York. In the middle of the season, not even mid-season, if it's done right around the All-Star break, there's only about 6 to 7 weeks left of the season. Will that be enough time to reinvent your team by losing 4, adding 1, and such a dynamic player like Carmelo? I don't know if that's the move you make in the midseason. Oh, if Carmelo's on the table come summertime, sure, you make the move. If he was on the table last summer, you make the move. But I don't think he's the type of player you put in there right now. Now, in the case with Gordon Hayward, the only difference there is they're both dynamic players, but his salary is far less than Carmelo's. I believe his salary is at 16, 17 million, 18 million. So that might only sacrifice 2 players, and you don't have to do too much reinventing on the fly as you would with Carmelo. So with that said, I would go along with a trade for Hayward quicker than a trade for Melo. But either case, if one of them was on the roster right now, they could challenge Cleveland. They could challenge Cleveland. If they were already on the roster, they could challenge Cleveland. Because that's what they meant. And don't get me wrong, Jay Crowder has performed admirable. I mean, it would be even better if they could obtain one of those players without giving up Jay Crowder. Because personally, if they can give up Amir Johnson and keep Jay Crowder, then slide Horford to the 5 and put Melo to the 4, or either put Crowder at the 4 if it was Hayward, I think either one of them would fit the mold, and it will take a little pressure off Isaiah in the fourth quarter. However, he seems to thrive on it. I mean, he really does. He seems to thrive on it. It's just a great story. And keep in mind, Avery Bradley is not even playing. So this is their defensive guy that helps out in the fourth quarter with he's guarding opposing team's tough wing play. It's just a tremendous story. And as much as I give credit to Isaiah, I have to give credit to Brad Stevens. The job that he's doing over there, time and time again, it can't go unnoticed. We have to commend this guy. He's one of the top 5 coaches in the game to me. I'm not one of those guys that greatness have to be defined by championship. No, it just adds to your greatness. But you can be great and not win. Remember, this is a team sport. Even if you're the best coach out there, you're still gonna need your players to execute. I mean, it's plain and simple. You're gonna need players. You can be the best coach out there, but you gotta have players. But tremendous season that Isaiah Thomas is having. In fact, the game last night was very exciting. They trailed by 18 against Toronto to come back and pull out the win at home, 109-104. he finished with 44 points. Just tremendous. Tremendous. 44 points. And remember, he's averaging 29.7 a game, but he's also averaging 6.4 assists. And for a guy who shoots as much as he do, he's averaging 47% from the field. So, I mean, he's making 1 out of 2. It's not like he's just hoisting up bad shots. And speaking of shots, he gives you his 2-point field goal percentage is like 56%. His 3-point range is 38%. But the guy gives you layups, he gives you mid-range, he gives you the 3, he gives you step backs. The guy is a phenomenal player. And again, at 5'9", listed. To me, pound for pound, he's the best player in the game. There's no one pound for pound, best player in the game. Best player in the game. And if they remain in the 2nd spot, and Westbrook is in the 7th spot, and say Harden finishes, I don't know, 4th, 5th, Houston finishes 4th or 5th, and everybody continue the pace they're going, Harden 3rd in scoring, lead the league in assists, Westbrook 1st in scoring, triple-double. Does Isaiah Thomas win? Now, let's flash back to 1961-62 season. Oscar Robertson, triple-double. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 51 points a game. 50 points a game. And like 20 rebounds. Bill Russell of Boston won MVP. Could history repeat itself? 35 years later? 55 years later? 55 years later, can history repeat itself? You have 2 phenomenal seasons by Westbrook and Harden, but yet someone from Boston wins it all? Just something to keep an eye on. Hey, listen, I gave you my opinion yesterday on LeBron. I don't know if they got the memo, but they seem to have turned it around and won back-to-back games now. They had a great win at home last night against Minnesota as Wiggins came in there to try to show out. He had 23. Karl-Anthony Towns, the young phenom center, he had a big game, 26 and 16. But Cleveland used a balanced attack to hold off the Timberwolves, led by LeBron. I believe LeBron had something like 27 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds. Kyrie Irving, he had a double-double. He didn't score many points, but he was somewhere like around 16 and 14. Tristan Thompson, he had a double-double, 18 points, 14 rebounds. You had Shannon Fry. He started in place of Kevin Love. He put up double digits somewhere around 18 points. Kyle Korver came off the bench to have 20. So they used the balanced attack to go ahead and put away the Timberwolves. But it looks like they're rounding out and maybe they're bouncing back, getting into form. But nevertheless, good win for Cleveland at home. They had been losing to some of the lower seed teams. So good win. Golden State did the Knicks a favor by beating up on Charlotte Hornets last night. This one was over early. The end of the first quarter was 41-21. They were led by Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers. They were back at it. Now, interesting stat line. It was very similar. Curry had 39 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. And Klay Thompson had 29 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And like I said, this one was over pretty early, 41-21. Going into the fourth quarter, Golden State was up 25. As I said, and it's a good segue, they did New York a favor by beating Charlotte, who's currently in the 8th spot. New York was on the road in Brooklyn. Is that really a road game? But nevertheless, they was on the road in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. And they had a tough game against the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, going into this game, you figure this is just what the Knicks needed to maybe find a little mojo, find some chemistry, to get back on some winning ways. And a loss here tonight would have been brutal, especially with Cleveland coming to town on Saturday night for a national televised game. So this was a must-win game for the Knicks. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. In fact, it was ugly. It really was. It was an ugly game. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I'm following it as much as I can or getting information, text messages. But what a ugly win it was. I had a chance to see some of the highlights and read up on it. And I'll say this: if Jeff wants to press the bosses at Madison Square Garden, there's games like this you have to find a way to win. B, you have to play Hernan Gomez at least 20 minutes a game. Where would you be last night, without this guy? He comes off the bench in 25 minutes, 16 points, and 16 rebounds. Okay? I know sometimes you have to dig deep. There was a Sasha sighting yesterday. He finished with 12 points. And incredibly, he had 2 4-point plays in this game. Something that you rarely see. Happens occasionally, but you rarely see it. He dug deep. Listen, I like what I saw from Carmelo. He was 6 for 23 yesterday in 27 minutes of action. He did not have it. He was hoisting up shot. He did not have it. Let's put it out there. He did not have it. He did not factor in the win. But I have to commend him for last night being the highest paid cheerleader of the night. Because through it all, as he sat the whole entire fourth quarter, as this New York Knicks team went down by 10, and Jeff put in the subs, and the reserves were able to claw back and cut this lead, trim this lead, and take the lead before inserting Porzingis in, who had a couple of key shots down the stretch. But to see Carmelo up on the bench, cheerleading the first one up, clapping, applauding, giving high fives when they come to the bench. That's what you have to do when you don't do it any other way. If you don't have it, don't sulk, but put your head down because you're not in the game. Just respect the decision of the coach and cheer on your teammates. Cheer on your teammates. I mean, think about this. This is an opportunity for these guys to showcase their talent to the coach and to you and to the fans that they can hold their own when called upon. When given minutes, they can make a difference. Well, guess what? They made a difference last night. Justin Holiday, I don't know his numbers, but I know this number. He was a plus 27 while on the court. A plus 27. Whether he was scoring, that means he was playing defense. That's what that meant. He was playing defense. They weren't scoring when he was on the court. Porzingis hit a clutch 3. I've been down on Porzingis. He missed a couple of free throws. My goodness. But nevertheless, he led the team in scoring with 19 points. Carmelo did finish with 16. Brandon Jennings, this guy scored only 6 points, but he had 10 assists, 5 steals, only 2 turnovers. I like Jennings coming off the bench. I think with the bench, the reserve players, they run more. They're more athletic than the starting lineup. Here's the thing, though. He's got to learn how to play half court. He's got to learn how to play half court, run the offense half court. In the open court, he could be a problem. But he does have to learn how to play half court. But nevertheless, he gave us a stellar performance last night. I mean, he factored in the win. Just an excellent game from the reserves. And once again, I gotta give credit to Sasha. I'm not a Sasha fan. I don't think he's deserving to be. I don't think he deserves to be on the roster. I think maybe there was a younger player out there that we could have possibly used and used that slot, especially with Derrick Rose on the roster. I thought a third point guard would have been beneficial, but I did think Sasha should occupy a spot. But nevertheless, an ugly win is still a win, and we'll take an ugly win over a beautiful loss any day. And with the loss of Charlotte last night, despite the Knicks being 6 games under 500, despite the Knicks playing as horrible as you can, despite the Knicks not being able to close in some of these games where they're losing by a shot or a final possession, 3 points, despite it all, the controversy swirling around the team about Carmelo being traded, Phil Jackson this, yada, 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 yada. Despite it all, New York's a game and a half out of the 8th spot. The playoffs are still in reach. A 5 game out of 7, five wins in 7 games could be just what the Knicks need to get right into the playoff races. And you say, well, this is the Knicks. Well, there's another team that's hot in the NBA right now besides the Golden State Warriors. That's the Miami Heat. They just won 9 in a row, 9 of their last 10. We seen Philly win 9 out of 10. Can the Knicks get a run such as that? 6 out of 7, 8 out of 10. Can they go on a run like that can put them back in the good graces of the playoffs? Because again, folks, they're only a game and a half out of the playoff spot. Something to think about. This is Ramel from Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Listen, I'll see you guys in 24 hours. Peace and blessings. Chopping it up.